Hey, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Caitlin, and we're at the Hunter's Van Life.
And this is our van, Van Halen.
It's a 2018 Ram ProMaster 3500, and this is the extended wheelbase, so it's the biggest Ram you can get. Welcome to our home. This is our kitchen here. You'll see we have a 3-burner stove and oven combo. This is the Dometic Atwood model. So we cook all of our meals. That's why the kitchen was one of the most important things in the van for us. Just because we love cooking. We have 12 gallons of propane, and that's mounted underneath the van. We didn't want to deal with having a propane inside. It takes up a lot of space, and we wanted to save as much as possible. So we have our spices here on the stove. It just saves a ton of room, and we love how it looks. And this is our huge, massive drawer where we store pretty much all of our kitchen appliances. We have coffee grinder, blender. We have 2 pots and 1 pan, since we do only have 3 burners, and everything like that. And then up here we have all of our silverware. And then in here we have our plates and bowls, kettle. And then in our bottom drawer here, this is our food storage here. And surprisingly, we have more than enough storage in the van. Keep all of our dry goods in here, oils, hip peas, if you know, you know. Moving up here in our upper cabinets, we have our mugs and coffee stuff, our pour over. I'm a coffee roaster. That's what I do for trade. So coffee is like the biggest thing in the van. We have a lot of coffee stuff. In this cabinet, we have more pantry stuff. We use leather IKEA handles here, and it just adds a nice touch. We love the aesthetic. And also they're nice because you don't have to worry about bumping your knees on handles that stick out. So our cabinet doors are mounted with these spring-loaded hinges here, and that's how they stay open. We see a lot of people using struts, but we didn't want to lose that space, and they kind of just get in the way. And surprisingly, it does stay closed when we're driving. These are the only cabinets here that aren't on locks. All of our other cabinets stay locked in using these RV clips. So one of the things we do love about our kitchen too is this rack up above. We keep some spoons and fruit. We're plant-based, so we go through a lot of produce, so having a fruit bag here saves up a lot of counter space and fridge space for us. And we keep dish soap, hand soap, and stuff like that. Some of my favorite things about the kitchen is the sink. We really wanted the space to be as homey as possible, so a deep sink was super important. This is, I believe, 15 by 15, and it's a quartz sink. So yeah, we use this pull-down faucet here made by Cross, and it's awesome. It swings out of the way if we need it to, and then we can clean dishes like that. So we have 33 gallons of fresh water, and that is under our bench seat right here. And we have 10-gallon gray water tank mounted underneath the van. And so moving over to this side of the kitchen here, we have our magnetic knife rack. And surprisingly, everything stays while we're driving. I know some people have concerns about that, but we've never had any issues. It's IKEA, made by IKEA, and it stays really well. And moving down right here, we have our fridge, and this is the Isotherm 85. This fridge has the ability to run off of AC or DC, and we decided to run it off DC to save. It's the most energy efficient. So moving on over here, this is where we keep all of our clothes, and we do live in our van full time. This is everything we own. We don't have anything in a storage unit anywhere. This is it. So this is where we keep socks, underwear. This is my drawer right here, and this is Ethan's. Moving on up here, this is where all of our toiletries are, vitamins, that sort of stuff. And then over here, this cabinet's pretty big. We have some board games, and we keep our camera charger, our remote to our Max Air fan, and we have electronic stuff and books and that sort of stuff.
So the transition from going from an apartment into our van was actually, for us anyway, a little lengthy. We ended up moving to 3 different apartments over the course of 3 years. When we bought the van, we had just moved into the last apartment that we were living in. So along that, trek of moving, we were able to downsize our stuff each time we moved. We already had kind of embraced the minimalism ideal, and then once we got the van, we were down to the point where we just had a little bit more to get rid of, and we ended up moving down to Florida here. Ended up moving with my folks while we were doing the build, and with that we kept everything that was necessary and got rid of everything that wasn't, which was a lot. A lot of things were unnecessary that we had. So I'm going to touch on a little bit of the carpentry and construction portion or aspects of the kitchen here. We use this subway tile backsplash. Behind that we have 1/2-inch Durock, and then the tile is just adhered to that with just regular thin set. Then we used just regular sanded grout to do all the grout lines and everything like that. Moving on to talking about our countertops, we used 1x maple and just cut them into, I think it was like 2.5-inch strips. Glued that together with tight lock number 3, and then we through bolted them every 16 inches or so. And we had always been throwing around the idea of having some kind of room divider or screen to separate the kitchen area from the seating and bed area, just to make it kind of feel like 2 separate rooms, but also we didn't really want it to be too claustrophobic. So we ended up just using leftover material from the countertops and fashioned these out of that, so it feels very open but still divides this portion from that portion, which is pretty nice. Back further in the van, we have our dinette area here. We just have a horseshoe shaped seating area here that we made this whole structure out of 3/4 inch plywood. Everything is really stable, everything is really solid. So on top of our benches we have 6-inch memory foam here to make these cushions. The only one thing that we subbed out for the van was that we sent these to an upholster and they did it for us. Another thing too of having the 2 benches on either side of the van is it's really great because we like to sit and be looking forward at each other, and that's kind of an important thing to us. Also, the fact that we don't have a fixed bed and we have the ability for this to transform into a bed is great because it saves a lot of space where we don't have to have a separate seating area along with a fixed bed here. So when we're done for the day and we're ready to put this into bed mode, basically all we do is we take this table off. By the way, this is a Lagoon pedestal. So we take this off, we actually stick this behind the driver's seat, grab another board, and then that sits on these cleats over here, just 1/2-inch plywood, and that's stable enough, doesn't sag or anything like that. It's great. All of our bedding is kept under this bench here. This table was a wedding present actually. So our friends, they're awesome carpenters, they ended up making this and giving it to us for our wedding, which is really great. So it's the one thing that we actually kept from home dwelling. So another thing that I really want to talk about is our awesome step up right here. Not only is it a step to get in, but we also have some storage under here. So a big thing, as most of you probably know who watch all of these videos, is that using every square inch is key to living this life comfortably.
All right, so welcome to our bathroom. It's a full wet bath. We have a Nature's Head compost toilet right here, which we love. I'm sure you've seen them in a lot of vans. And we do have a shower head that's detachable right here. We do have a 2.5 gallon electric hot water heater, and usually we try to, only one of us will shower a day if we're planning to shower, just because it is such a small amount. And we do only have 33 gallons of fresh water, so we are usually trying to always conserve that. Our walls we lined with this material called Plastex that we got from Home Depot. And for waterproofing, we used Red Guard behind the walls. The shower floor, we used Schluter fleece waterproof membrane. And we actually custom built a shower pan out of Bondo. So traditionally in houses, they would use a cement foundation that slopes toward the drain. So we just created the Bondo idea, just lightweight, waterproof, and we could it gave us the ability to make a custom drain. For the ceiling, we installed cedar as well as the floor. It just kind of makes the shower more of a luxurious and spa-like. So for the shower door, we have the Nautilus self-cleaning door. And this is awesome because it's self-cleaning. We don't have to worry about mold or mildew.
We're literally together 24/7 and all the time. Usually you're married or you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and you're living together at your house or apartment, and then you're going to work, and then you're apart 8+ hours a day, and then you come back and you say, oh hey honey, how's your day going, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, it's great, cool, cook dinner, go to sleep, and then do it all over again. But now it's every day, every single moment, and it's great. It's really fun, for sure. It's really cool to understand each other on like a deeper level, and it really does make you do that when you're together when you're together all the time. Yeah. For sure.
I feel like one of the big reasons why we love van life is because we get to spend every moment together. Before we're working 2 jobs each, and seeing each other maybe if we're lucky at night or on the weekends, really. So living this lifestyle, we really feel like we're actually living life together now, making memories together. Yeah. It's definitely one of the things we truly value now and just really appreciate.
Well, now that we've moved outside of the van, I'll talk to you about everything that we use for our solar setup. So on top, we have 2 300-watt solar panels made by Renogy. That runs down through our MPPT charge controller, and then goes on into our batteries. We have 2 350 amp hour AGM batteries. And then moving into our garage space, part of the design for this was mainly just utility space, just wanted it to function. So as you can see, we definitely have some pipes exposed, obviously have a lot of wires exposed. Over here on the left side, this is all of our electrical setup and everything like that. So our Make Sky Blue MPPT charge controller comes in from the panels, goes through there, and then that goes over into our 2 bus bars over here. Those are made by Blue Sea Systems. From there, charges our 700 amp hour battery bank. And then we have our DC circuitry, comes out of our fuse box there. And then we have our Ames power inverter, and that does all of our AC power.
This is my coffee roaster right here. This is what I do for work on the road. I've been a coffee roaster by trade for over 7 years now. So having a setup of my own was like always a dream. And one of the reasons why we did van life was so I could do this. So here we have it, it pulls out on heavy duty slides. So we designed pretty much the whole van around this thing to fit it. Yeah, that's why we did the elevated bed area, just so that we could store this. We can run it off solar, but most of the time when I'm trying to fulfill orders, we just choose to plug in just to save as much power as possible. We kind of plan it out where we're gonna be. And we've never had any issues. So this is my toolbox here. So I keep all of my roasting equipment and tools for cleaning and all my green beans. I get them from a specialty importer called Sweet Maria's. I've been using them for years and love them. I roast the top 1% beans in the world, so it's the best quality you can get. It takes about 10 to 12 minutes to roast 1 batch of coffee. This is a small roaster. It roasts about 2 pounds, so I am doing small batches at a time. It's perfect for what I need. If you'd like to keep in touch with us and follow our travels, you can get in touch with us at thehuntersvanlife.com. We have everything that we use in this build listed on that website, a ton of resources. You can shoot us an email if you have any questions. And you can find us on The Hunters Van Life on Instagram. If you'd like to buy some of my coffee, you can send us a message through Instagram or email us, and yeah, we can get some coffee out to you.
And she's probably one of the best roasters I know, so that's pretty good. In addition to that, we are open to doing van builds for other clients, so we would love to be able to take this knowledge that we learned, you know, building this van, and also the knowledge I learned from working in construction, and create a home for someone else who wants to do this, because it's a lot of fun and you should do it. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in our home. It's been awesome to have you over. Yeah, lots of fun, and well, at this point I think it's time
We're hitting the beach.
It's time to get going, because yeah, we got to go swimming, so it's gonna be good. So peace.